Hi, welcome to Audrey's Kitchen. Today I'm going to be making eggplant parmesan. So we're going to get started and we're going to fry up the eggplant first. What we'll need for that is breadcrumbs, eggs, some milk, Parmesan cheese, salt, some oregano, some basil. That's just to spice up the breadcrumbs. So let me get everything set up and we'll get started. So I put breadcrumbs in the bowl, and in this bowl I have 6 eggs and a cup of milk. So to the breadcrumbs we're going to be adding about half a cup of Parmesan cheese, a tablespoon of oregano, tablespoon of basil, and about a teaspoon of salt. You could always add more salt afterwards. Okay. So just mix all that up into the breadcrumb. Then get a Parmesan, eggplant Parmesan. This is the longest step, is breading them and frying them. As far as the Parmesan casserole itself, once you're done with this, all you need is tomato sauce and mozzarella. And then that is when you assemble it. You could use your own tomato sauce or you could use a jar sauce. It's totally up to you. So how I like to do this, okay, so just going to cut the ends off, right, and then get the skin off. You can use the skin if that's what you like. I wasn't raised with the skin, so I'm not used to it, but if you were, there's no harm. Skin is edible. Could use a peeler, but I'm very impatient. Now, this Parmesan, I'm going to be making the eggplant long. Now, normally you can do just the rings. I like to do them long. Number one, it takes less time because you get a lot of rings out of here because you're cutting them pretty thin. Maybe about 1/4 inch. Sometimes you don't get a whole slice, don't throw it out, still use it. Okay. And then when it gets too hard to hold, lay it down. And then, just like you were doing a chicken cutlet, just get the slices out of it. So that's how I would do all the eggplant. I'm only going to show you one eggplant because it's just going to take up so much film. So what I like to do is I just start throwing some of them in the egg mixture. A few at a time. Then we're going to put that in the breadcrumbs. Get it nice and coated. Give it a little time, let the eggs soak up. Get the bread sticking to it. And there's your first one. So we're going to continue that until all the eggplant is done. Now while you do this, you can bread it all at once. Do it step by step. Or if you like to multitask, which I normally do, but beginners, I honestly would say to just bread all the eggplant now, and then when you're done, you start up the frying process. until you get the hang of it. Only because you'd be surprised how quickly that eggplant will burn in the frying pan. So, but then once you get the hang of it, then what I like to do is once I've finished breading one eggplant, I'll start frying it. And while that's frying, I'll work on the next eggplant until they're all done. And this eggplant palm casserole dish will take, I have 4 eggplants here. Okay. This happens to be my favorite dish. I could just eat this forever. And living in New York, it was everywhere. You can buy eggplant parmesan everywhere. Here, I've been here in Maine for 3 years, a little over 3 years. You really can't find it anywhere. There's not many Italian places that I've found yet, but hopefully, this is why I'd rather just make it. And when you're in New York, Italian food is just abundant. There's just so many great places to get some food. Here, there's good pizzerias. I did find some good pizza. I was very happy. I haven't found an Italian restaurant yet. Still looking. I don't consider the Olive Garden an Italian restaurant. So maybe it's me. Maybe it was because I've been a chef for over 15 years. I don't know. But I rather things homemade. I made this a lot when I did catering. This was always a very popular dish, which you'll be seeing a lot of the recipes that I did for catering. I'm going to start incorporating videos of them. Okay, so I did the first eggplant. Okay, so I'm going to come back when they're all breaded, and then we're going to start the frying. So now I'm all set up. Here's our plate of eggplant. I've been letting this warm up. You take a little bit of the breadcrumb and you throw it in. It's starting to sizzle a little bit, so we're almost ready. Okay, in the meantime, I want to show you. I have a pan here. Now underneath it, I put lunch bags. If you have big paper bags, that'd be great. You just rip them open. But I buy these lunch bags, and it soaks up the oil really great. Better than the paper towels. But I put a couple of paper towels on top. So we really want to get out all that oil from frying. Now with eggplant parmesan, you can coat them with flour. A lot of people coat with flour. I've done that too. This batch I've coated with breadcrumb. You can go either way. I think they both taste great. Flour might be a little lighter, but you know, it's really not that bad, the breadcrumbs. So now we're not going to overcrowd. So I have 3 pieces in. We'll start with that. Okay. And then because your fork touches the raw egg from putting them in, I like to just swirl it around in the hot oil. We don't want anybody getting sick. So So we're going to fry these until they're light, medium golden brown. This is the longest part of making eggplant parm. This is the frying process. Because remember now, this is just one eggplant. I have 4 more to do. So and you got to be careful with the heat. Now, I started off at a high medium. As soon as I'm done with my first batch, because you want everything to heat up, the pan, the oil, everything. You're going to bring it down to medium, maybe medium low. Because one thing you don't want is you don't want the oil to start smoking. Because then you might as well just put a fan in the window, because your whole house is going to be full of smoke. Especially with olive oil. Now, olive oil can't handle high heat. You know, it's best for a vegetable oil or something that can handle the heat. But you can fry in olive oil. It's just you got to keep it low and slow. Getting a little golden brown, so I'm going to flip them. The first ones always take the longest, as with everything. But I like cutting them long, lengthwise. It cuts down on the frying. Because you could have these little tiny rings, circles, slices that you do your eggplant, and it takes such a long time. Usually when I'm making eggplant and I'm doing when I cut slices, it will take me at least 2 hours. Because you can only put so many in the frying pan at once. So lengthwise, you get done in half the time. And you don't want to leave them alone. You basically have enough time to go and slice up another eggplant like I normally would do and coat it in the breadcrumbs. That's a couple of slices at a time before you got to come back and turn these. So that's pretty much all you can do. You don't want to leave them alone. And you just keep checking them. This is perfect. So I just like to hold it up and let the water drain out of it. The oil drain out of it. Okay. Be very careful. These don't fall off your fork. If you have tongs, great. Because this splashes, you're going to get hurt with the oil. Okay. And then we'll just continue this. Sometimes some pieces are smaller, so you can fit more in the pan. Just as long as they're not touching, you can put as many as you want to your size pan that you're using. So then once you see them starting to get brown around the edges right away, that's when we're going to lower this to medium. But you definitely have to take your time with this. This makes the eggplant parm. Let them get nice and golden brown. The eggplant can be very bitter, so all of this takes the bitterness out. There are some people who, actually my mother used to salt the eggplant overnight and then wash the eggplant off, that used to get a lot of moisture out. She always claimed it helped with the bitterness. But I don't salt, and they come out fine. So now it's really getting oily there, so we're going to lower this because we don't want to get splashed. I mean, when it looks like the oil is boiling, it's time to lower it. So I put it at a 5. That's medium. If I need to, I'll go down to 4.5. Because you don't want to burn them, because you don't want that burnt taste inside the eggplant. So just keep your eye on it. And then when we have extra, after I make the eggplant parmesan, if there's any extra eggplant left over, we'll make sandwiches. We'll put fresh mozzarella, eggplant, maybe a little roasted peppers, some mayonnaise, or nice Italian bread makes a beautiful sandwich. Lettuce, tomato, whatever you want, onion. Fried eggplant's fantastic in a sandwich. Okay, so these are done. Remember, let them drain. All that oil out. Just make sure it doesn't fall off the fork. I've been splashed numerous times. It's not fun. Okay. And then again, we're going to repeat the process. Alright, so I'm going to come back when I'm almost done frying. Alright, so an hour later, that's what I mean by the frying takes the most time in this recipe. So I did all 4 eggplants, and now we're going to get started assembling it. Alright, so I have my sauce in my pot. It's cold. The eggplant is room temperature, and my mozzarella is cold. So I have my pan. I'm going to put a little olive oil at the bottom. Okay, just a couple tablespoons. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to add some sauce to the bottom. Now always be generous with your sauce. But if you're not, what happens is the eggplant comes out dry. You can put sauce on afterwards too. But just try to be a little, always a couple spoonfuls extra. Helps it out. Alright. So now what we're going to do, it's very simple. We're just going to cover the bottom. And it's all a matter of layering. If you're a beginner, this shouldn't be too hard for you. People who've made this before, you know how it goes. So just going to cover the bottom with them. You don't have to be perfect, don't worry. Okay, you just pick out the sizes and try to fit it in. Alright, so now we have the bottom covered. So now we're going to add some mozzarella. Now this can be however you like it. You like a lot, you like a little. This is about half a cup per layer that I'm doing. You can do more. Alright, so now I'm going to cover this mozzarella with the eggplant. And you can see how well the paper bags just soaked up all that oil. The paper towel does it too, but you need a lot of paper towel. Get this up, now you can see all the oil it soaked up. Now you're not overlapping, you're just covering the bottom. You know, if you have to overlap a little bit, that's fine. And then always give it a big push down. Now we're going to cover that with sauce. And just spread it all out. So that was about 3 of my ladles of sauce. Okay, now we're going to go mozzarella. This is the middle layer. I like to do it a little heavier, about a little over a cup. Okay, and now we're gonna vanilla. Depends on how deep your dish is, on how many layers you can get. I have my oven preheating. It's 375. We're going to put it in for about a half hour. Remember, everything is cooked, so it's just a matter of melting that cheese, incorporating all the flavors together. That's pretty much it. So we don't have to worry about if it's cooked, because everything is cooked. All right. Put some more cheese, which is in this bag. Now the final layer. And you do as many layers as you can, depending on your pan. Doesn't look like there will be any leftovers. This whole pan took 4 eggplant. They were medium sized, they weren't very big. Usually if they're big, I do have enough to make a few sandwiches afterwards, but they're out of luck today because I used the whole thing. Alright, that's done. So now we're going to cover the top with sauce. Move it around, make sure it covers everything. And you could put this on a baking sheet in case it bubbles over in the oven. Okay, some sauce. And now a topping of mozzarella. Again, you can put as much or as little as you like. That's good. I like to do a little sprinkle of olive oil on the top. Frozen parsley I have. Just put that on top. And the oven is ready. It's at 375, like I said. I'm going to put this in for 30 minutes and I'll get right back to you. And here we are, 45 minutes. A little golden brown on top. So we'll cut your piece and see how it came out. I like to serve this with some pasta. You can use any pasta that you like. Or salad. First piece is always hard to get out. Okay. There we go. And you can use any pasta, like I said. This is what I have. So I just threw this in. You could also do a salad with it. So I hope you give it a try. Very delicious. We should have let it cool a little bit. I hope you try the eggplant parmesan. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.